7. Barrett outside, the switch. Doncic goes, oh, what a great step! And then he hammers it home! Broke his ankles!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well. The New York Knicks just came out victorious versus the Washington Wizards, 117-99. We were on the road at the Capital One Arena. This was our second preseason game. We are 2-0 when it comes to the preseason, and it just seems like we can never get W's at the Capital One Arena, so it felt good to get a W even though it was the preseason. Obviously, this is a different looking Wizards team, trading away Russell Westbrook, getting some brand new pieces such as a Kuzma, a Caldwell Pope as well. We're going to be getting into all that. Brand new coach of Wes Unseld Jr. He really knows the game of basketball. I just feel like he doesn't have enough talent, or he doesn't have that big time star besides Bradley Beal on that roster, but I do like Rui Hachimura. He's still recovering from an injury. It was good to see Danny Avdija out there healthy and Caldwell Pope as well. So they ended up playing, but they were listed like on ESPN that they weren't playing, but it was good to see them healthy and out there on the court. They still struggle defensively. There's still some deficiencies there. But for the New York Knicks, there was still no Mitchell Robinson. He's recovering from that fractured foot, but I heard he is looking good out there when it comes to practice, and hopefully he is back when it comes to opening night versus the Boston Celtics. Julius Randle had some family matters he had to take care of, and then Nerlens Noel is still resting, recovering from that little injury of his or just some soreness. He'll be fine. I think he'll be back versus the Boston Celtics, ready to start if Mitchell Robinson is not there. But you look at the starting lineups of these basketball teams. The Washington Wizards, you have a brand new acquired Spencer Dinwiddie in free agency. Of course, the Brooklyn Nets decided to not pay him. They didn't want to pay him a certain amount of money, but they had Spencer Dinwiddie at the point guard position. They had Bradley Beal at the 2. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at the 3, you had Kyle Kuzma at the 4, and then you had Daniel Gafford from Arkansas, an athletic big that I'm actually a big-time fan of. Then you take a look at the New York Knicks. The Knicks, with Julius Randle taking care of family matters, Obi Toppin actually got the start, which was pretty exciting. Taj Gibson at the 5. You had RJ Barrett actually at the 3, listed here as a forward. At the 2, you had Evan Fournier, and at the 1, Kemba Walker makes his second start as a New York Knick, this time on the road, seeing if there's some adversity there. And I was really looking forward to this game because how will Obi Toppin play, and how is RJ Barrett going to be defensively on Bradley Beal, because that's kind of going to be a load there without Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock really took on those big-time assignments, and I actually thought RJ Barrett did a very solid job on Bradley Beal, especially in the second half, made him feel uncomfortable. And I feel like his defense kind of got overshadowed if you're not a Knicks fan, because he had several of great defensive possessions on Bradley Beal, and then there was just a stupid bailout of a foul. If it was on Obi, if it was on Jericho Sims, like he was having great defensive possessions, did a really good job on Beal, and then just some stupid foul happened, but he still did get killed, like with screens, Bradley Beal moving without the basketball. But at the end of the day, there's no such thing as really completely shutting down Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is one of the best offensive players in the league, off the ball, with the ball in his hands. But to start off in this game, this was pretty sloppy. I'm not going to lie. There was turnovers like crazy. It was the complete opposite of the last game. The New York Knicks were taking care of the basketball last game, but they were kind of lazy distributing the basketball. Like, you could say we kind of moved the ball too much. I actually liked the ball movement at the beginning of this game. You could say it kind of fell off in the second half or in that second quarter a little bit when the Wizards were starting to get a run together. But the New York Knicks started off strong when those turnovers kind of went away. They were still there, though. I'm not going to lie, but we shot the 3 ball very well in that first quarter. Absolutely lights out. RJ Barrett, right wing 3. Corner 3. I believe he had back-to-back 3s there. Kemba Walker, top of the key 3. Evan Fournier knocking down a 3 from the outside. There was no hesitation. We were just drilling shots from downtown. It was awesome to see, but I'm not going to lie. Dinwiddie just abused Kemba Walker on the defense side of the basketball. That definitely is a big-time question mark. Kemba Walker, sometimes he can sacrifice his body, drawing charges, but one-on-one, just like screens, and then there's when there's screens and then there's switches, there is that concern with Kemba being undersized, being 5'11" to 6 foot. You could say his height has changed so much, but Dinwiddie did a good job just dribble penetrating. He had 7 early points in this basketball game. But Obi Toppin, I actually really did like the way he played defense, even though he did get into foul trouble. I believe he had 3 early fouls, which really hurt him get into the flow offensively, but he did a good job fronting. He came up with a steal. He had a nice block on Harrell. He had a good shot contest on Bradley Beal outside on the perimeter and forced a Bradley Beal miss. And I was like, I'm really liking this out of Obi Toppin, and he did a solid job crashing the glass. I believe he finished with 8 or 9 rebounds, so I definitely did like his energy. I did like the intensity from Obi Toppin, just had to play a little bit smarter, in my opinion. But the Washington Wizards, they do have some solid young players. Like Bradley Beal still got his. Beal's not like a young player. Of course, of course, but Beal still got his out there. Denny Avdia, he looked all right. He's just a smart player. He's going to do the little things out there on the basketball court for you. But to talk about the bench, because yes, it sucks that no Randall was in this game, but he's not injured, so it doesn't completely suck, you know. But Obi starting, that means Kevin Knox is going to get some burn off the bench. And Knox right out the gate, Kuzma abused him, went to the basket strong. We know Knox is pretty gifted offensively, but defensively there is ways to go. But he did a good job overcoming adversity, knocked down a three. He actually shot the three ball extremely well in this game, and he actually ended up having a couple like pretty nice defensive possessions. But I really did like the way Kevin Knox shot the three ball in this game. Like, corner Kev, is he back? Is he back? We'll see. It is just preseason at the end of the day. He was amazing in preseason last year. But I really did like the play, like, after he got abused by Kuzma going to the rim, to really make it more specific here. He did a good job anticipating, didn't come up with the steal, but he deflected it out of bounds. He didn't really give up on the play at all. And just the defense leading to the offense, knocking down the three, but also playing defense on the other end. I actually really did like the way Kevin Knox shot the three ball well in this game. Still has ways to go defensively, putting the ball on the floor, but there's a reason he's just standing in the corner. There's a reason they don't really have him with the ball that much in his hands, because he doesn't have the best of handle, but he shot it well. He played okay defense. I got to really give Kevin Knox his flowers. At one point, he was our leading scorer, and this dude was just absolutely like off the charts, especially when it came to that second quarter. But obviously that very exciting play, like at the end of the first quarter, Derrick Rose kind of had to force up kind of like a push shot floater, like the shot clock was winding down, and then Jericho Sims came out of nowhere and just freaking threw it down. I thought that was amazing, but Knox had a big time three to end the first quarter. There was just so much momentum, and it was so much fun to watch offensively. Like, we couldn't miss from the outside. We were drilling threes left and right, and it was pretty much the opposite for the Washington Wizards. Now the second quarter, I like to call this the Kevin Knox quarter, because yes, let's get into real quick. Like, he had his second three, no pun intended. He hit that second three, which was amazing because he was 0 for 4 in the past preseason game, and he didn't shoot it well in Summer League, so it was really good, or really nice to see the ball go through the net for Emmanuel quickly from the outside. His shot looked smooth. He was just non-hesitant. I thought he was taking quality shots. He wasn't really forcing anything like at the basket, which you really like to see. And Knox didn't start off the second quarter. Like, the first possession, I believe he fouled Davis Bertans at the three-point line, but he was drilling threes from the outside. Like, it was literally a flamethrower. This dude looked like Kyle Korver, like Kyle Korver with the Hawks when he nearly shot like 50%, or I think he did shoot 50% from the three-point line one season. Like, Kevin Knox was shooting off the charts. But again, like I mentioned, he did this last preseason. Like, is it going to carry over to minutes? I don't know. He has to consistently, like, be okay to solid on the defense side of the basketball, because, yes, he shoots the three ball well, but is it enough? Like, will it be consistent enough to really cover up that defense, if you know what I mean? But I really did like how, like, it didn't seem like Kevin Knox of the past. Again, it is just preseason. When he would miss a shot, put his head down. No, he actually got back on defense and had some solid effort plays. And an underrated play of Kevin Knox, everyone's going to talk about the three balls, but I really like that he dribble penetrated. He found Jericho Sims down low, and he threw down a dunk. I thought that was amazing. But Daniel Gafford had a big quarter. He started to get things going offensively. Like, we couldn't stop anything in the paint. I don't know if that's because it's Kemba Walker. Like, I'm not saying Elfrid Payne's good or anything like that, but Elfrid Payne did a solid job where he's a better defender than Kemba Walker. But because Kemba Walker's smaller, because he is shorter, he's not the best defensively, he's going to allow dribble penetration easier. And Daniel Gafford was just sending everything on the defense side of the basketball. Like, he was really starting to give them some momentum. He got to the free throw line a couple times. He really did kill us inside. And you could say the ball movement after that first quarter, or after the beginning of the second quarter, like, the ball movement really went away. You could say there was too much dribbling, and we just went absolutely ice cold. There was at one point, like, we couldn't hit a shot in like 3 or 4 minutes. It was absolutely awful to see, and the Wizards were just abusing us inside. Like, we were allowing dribble penetration way too easy. They were getting rebounds very easy. They were just more physical when it came to that second quarter, and then when halftime came around, we were only up like 4 or 5 points, and in the third quarter it started to scare me. Again, it is just preseason, but you want to see teams overcome adversity and just put their head down and still continue to get to work and just have short-term memory, like, it's all right, we'll be fine. And then you look at Obi Toppin, started the third quarter, he picked up his 4th foul. I was like, oh, I feel bad for him. Like, yes, I feel bad for him, but I don't. He has to be smarter. and I was like, oh, he's really not going to get anything going offensively like in this basketball game, is he really? But I thought RJ Barrett played tremendous defense on Bradley Beal in that third quarter. I really did. He forced an air ball, and then I believe it was Evan Fournier. There was good ball movement, found RJ in the corner, knocked down the three. And I'll say this right now, I really love the way RJ Barrett is shooting the basketball from the outside, but he still has ways to go when it comes to finishing. Just really using more flexibility or finding or figuring out different angles, because he's really predictable when going to the basket. He needs more finesse, or he's going to have to find other ways to really finish around the basket, because he still has ways to go in that department. And yes, it's great to see him hit those catch and shoot three-point shoot. It's really cool to see him knock down those catch and shoot threes, but he's still going to have to work on off the dribble. Obviously, they don't have the confidence in him if he's not looking to perform off the dribble. You could say he's been put in the position, or he hasn't been put in the position to really perform off the dribble, but I still think he has ways to go in that department, going stronger to the basket. And I feel like we won't be a lethal playoff team until RJ could really consistently shoot off the dribble, because that shot's not going to be as available when it comes to playoff time. But RJ Barrett, after playing good defense on Bradley Beal at the other end, he knocked down a good three-point shot, and we put the Wizards in the penalty with 8:22, which I freaking hated. Like, it was fouls left and right. It was just awful. It was undisciplined basketball, and Tom Thibodeau was pissed off. I believe he called like so many timeouts when it came to that third quarter. But I thought we had beautiful ball movement, started to get things going after calling a timeout, and just having that rough start, because this team just has short-term memory. This team just overcomes adversity, and I really love this play. It was beautiful ball movement when RJ, I have it written down right here, I had to remember this. RJ dribble penetrated. He was in the corner, I believe. I thought he was going to attack, and then he kicked it out to Fournier, and then it was an extra pass for an Obi corner three. And this is when Obi started to get things going, knocked down a couple threes. I believe Evan Fournier found Obi Toppin for an alley-oop dunk. He started to play smarter. He had a near double-double in this game. He played good defensively. Again, he had that block on Harrell. Good shot contest outside on the perimeter. I really did like the way he played defensively. Yes, you could say he got into foul trouble, but he's a much improved defensive player compared to Dayton, which you really like to see. But we went on, I believe, a 16-2 run. Like, Obi had a couple threes. And let's get into the fourth quarter, though. Or, like, yes, let's end the third quarter, though, before we kind of get into the bad, which kind of scared me with Tom Thibodeau. Quickly, deja vu. Did the same move on Neto. I don't think he was lost as much. It ended up resulting in a 2. He lost him. Rose beat the shot clock. Wild shot. But the fourth quarter, I'm not gonna lie, kind of like pissed me off. Like, I'm not talking about basketball wise. Like, we ended up blowing them out. Obviously, 117-99. The ball movement was beautiful. We were up 1,000,000 points. That's what pisses me off. We were up 1,000,000 points, and Derrick Rose is still in the game. Why is RJ closing out a game when we're up so many points in the preseason? Like, I just don't understand Tom Thibodeau. Like, I appreciate Tom Thibodeau, great coach, but RJ shouldn't be out there. Rose shouldn't be out there. There was a scare that he did something to his ankle, and then he was smiling, and I was like, thank God he's good, but who knows? Maybe he still tweaked his ankle. He shouldn't be out there when we're up so many points. At that point, put Miles McBride in. Put Quinn Grimes in. He didn't put them in until like 2 or 3 minutes left, like in that fourth quarter. Yes, it was awesome to see Miles McBride out there. He was getting a chance of deuce because West Virginia isn't as far. You saw Quinn Grimes knock down a couple threes, which was awesome, but no rookies until like 2:38, and Grimes didn't get in there till later. Like, it's a preseason game. Put McBride in. You're up 1,000,000 points. Like, why do you do that, Tibbs? But the Knicks came out victorious. Let me know down below your thoughts, and peace out, y'all.